What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and it is what 2:30 in the morning right now. But I wanted to make this video because I'm writing an article on it for my blog, ElliotScottCoaching.com, and I thought it would be a good video topic to talk about because a lot of women have this problem. So as you see by the title below, we're going to talk about how to get a guy to text you, and first at least 95% of the time, okay? So if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I love you forever. Also, if you want to get my texting guide that goes with this, which is a very, very long, extensive guide strictly on texting, and or you want to get a phone session with yours truly, those links are in the description, okay? So while this stuff sounds like common sense, it is very, very important to master these four things. If you want to get a guy to text you first, or at least respond quickly, 95% of the time, you have to have these things. There's no way around it. This is just the way it is. And they sound very common, but no one does it. They skip over it, they half-ass it, and then they wonder why the guy's not texting, okay? So number one is getting him attracted or creating the desire. This one's really simple, but I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to a client on the phone and they're wondering why a guy's pulling away, or why they did this one thing wrong and the guy's freaking out, or how the guy's not putting enough effort in. And it all, again, the more we talk about it, it always comes down to you got to create the desire. Your job is to hook him, to get him addicted, to create the attraction. Okay, and if you need help with that, I also have a value guide below. Just watch my videos. It's not so much what you do, it's what you don't do also, right? Show the red flags, come off too strong, pressure him, things like that. Also, while showing your assets, limiting your liabilities, showing your fun, keeping it lighthearted, being very casual, building sexual tension. Things, you got to create the attraction. Guys are looking for a certain thing in a girl. If you have that thing, he's going to pursue you. A lot of women think just sitting down and having a good conversation, that you had a good time on the date, is enough. It's not. You have to create the attraction. Think of it as a trigger. It's sitting there in his brain. You have to find the switch and turn it on. That's what it is, okay? A guy's much more likely to text you if he's in pursuit of something, not just to talk to you. And that's a good way to look at it. If you think the guy's just going to text you out of the kindness of his heart, no. He has to be addicted to something. He has to be attracted to something. He has to desire something that you have, and he has to go after it. The second thing is to get a guy invested, okay? Logically, I call it your resources, right? Or his resources, or yours. It could be either. But when a guy or somebody invests their time, energy, effort, money, emotion, whatever, they're investing their resources. And obviously, the more we invest our resources in something, logically, we're digging that thing, okay? So if this guy's attracted to you and he's investing his resources in you, he actually has something to lose, right? It might be you created that desire. He doesn't want to lose that desire. Now there's something you can negotiate because there is a desire. You didn't jump the gun or put the cart before the horse and just assume he should be reaching out to you without there being any desire. But when a guy invests in you, like I said, now he has something to lose. Not only is he giving you his resources, think of it as a slot machine, right? Let's say you're gambling, or just any gambling, and you're putting a lot of money down, or let's just say it's a guy who's taking a girl out all the time, but the girl hasn't put out yet. Well, the guy doesn't want to lose all that money and that time and that interest, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to taking that girl out, so he's going to try harder. It's going to create that cycle. He's going to do more for her. He's going to spend more on her. These kind of guys. So you have to get a guy invested. When the guy's invested in you and he wants to put forth the effort, he's obviously going to text you first. The third thing I have right here is you're only as good as your last contact. I can't stress this enough. I always tell women everything is based on context. You have to look and see how everything is as a whole. Not don't a lot of women talk about like the last, or not the last, but just take things step by step, right? Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Oh, Elliot, I watched Elliot's video. He said to do this slow. That's the wrong way to look at it. The women who are very successful with men are able to stand back, look at the whole picture as a context, like, right, the aura, the vibe that they're giving off, and then able to adapt and mold like a chameleon to the situation, which will better suit everything overall. I hope you understand what I'm saying by that. A lot of women would just sit there and be very concrete with it, but if that's not how the atmosphere or context is, for example, like, let me give you a great example of what I mean by this. If you want to reach out to him, right? That could either, out of nowhere, just to hang out. That could be either a good or bad thing. It depends on the context and how you adapt to it. If prior to wanting to reach out to him, all you did was blow up his phone, you're coming off needy, you're coming off clingy, you get that feeling that you're coming off a little needy and clingy, but you still do it, you're probably going to do more harm than good, because the lens he has on is, this girl's desperate, this girl's a little eager, this girl's a little too interested. So when you do reach out, again, the context you created up to that time was being pretty needy, so he's going to see that as needy. However, if you text him minimally here and there, sporadically, you see him maybe once a week, you don't blow up his phone, and you're not feeling needy, well, the context is probably you not being needy. So reaching out is okay. So you're only as good as your last contact. You're only as good as the context that you have created. So it's very, very important for a woman to understand. Don't do what I say religiously. Focus on the context, and then take my videos and see, well, does this work based on the context that I created, okay? And of course, the last thing is making them jump through small loopholes. And what I mean usually by this is, if you're going too direct, too strong, too fast, too intense in the beginning, he's more likely to pull away. I always tell women that if you want a guy to commit, as in text you back, for example, you should be giving him small text, not these big blocks, because that's too much to read, that's too much to answer back to. It's just like, again, he doesn't have the investment yet, so he's gonna be like, oh, whatever. He's just gonna look at it and read it later, right? If it's a big block of text, he ain't gonna want to answer that shit now. He might be busy, he might be doing something, he might be tired, he might have just woke up and saw it. And he's never wanting to get back to it because it's a big block of text. Start off small, simple, fun, focus on quality, not quantity, and he's more likely to text you back, okay? So that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. Again, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I love you forever, and peace.